Welcome to the Daily Devo. My name is Diana. Today we are talking about Jesus' last public teaching in the temple. We are looking at the final moments, the final days of Jesus' life before the cross. We know he willingly chose to give up his life on the cross for you and for me and for our neighbor. And in 3 days, he will rise again, conquering sin and death and shame and darkness. But today, we will see that in those final days, that Jesus is going to spend some time teaching about the way and the truth of God. Listen in to Luke chapter 21, verses 37 through 38. It says, "Each day, Jesus was teaching at the temple, and each evening he went out to spend the night on the hill called the Mount of Olives. And all the people came early in the morning to hear him at the temple." So in these final days, the people are still coming. They're still seeking out Jesus to listen to what he says. Scripture tells us that he speaks with authority unlike any other, and the crowds are drawn to what he says. And remember, Jesus is in the city area, and the temple, this was the temple that King Solomon built and Nehemiah rebuilt, and it was right there at the base of the hills. The Mount of Olives is right next to it, and at the base of that hill is the temple. And there was likely hustle and bustle of an open-air market happening by the city. People are selling goods and spices and foods. Could you imagine the smells? And in the temple, people were making the sacrifices that the Old Testament talks all about. That's happening, and exchanging, and priests are working. There's a buzz and a hum happening. And in the midst of all of this, Jesus is still teaching the crowds about the ways of God and the parts of his teaching that are recorded in Luke 21. But what he's doing, for example, is he's standing near where the people give their gifts or give their finances and their gifts to the treasury of the temple. And he notices how one widowed woman, she walks up and adds her 2 small coins, the equivalent of 2 pennies. And Jesus says to all those around, he says, "Truly I tell you, this widow has put in more than all the others. All these other people, they gave out of their wealth, but she gave out of her poverty. She put in all she had to live on." What is Jesus doing? He's again echoing the lessons that he has been teaching over and over again for the last 3 years. Essentially what he's saying is look at this woman's heart. She is choosing to honor God with all that she has. This is the better gift. The others here, they may be contributing much more financially than her 2 pennies, but they are not giving fully from the heart. It's the heart posture towards God that matters. It's the heart posture towards God that matters. So today, let's do a quick heart check, an audit, if you will. How is your heart? How are your motives? When it comes to your faith in Jesus, how is your heart? Are we choosing to think about the story of God found in the Bible because we want to, or we feel like we're obligated? Are we choosing to worship God out of a heart that wants to, or out of a heart that's avoiding, or a heart that doesn't care? Are we choosing to love our neighbor and live like Jesus with his help because we love God, or have we forgotten? Let's tell God the current state of our heart towards him. Let's ask God to help us live full-hearted like the widowed woman did during his final week. God is worthy of our heart's first priority. Ask God to show you how to honor him first today. He'll show you.